Would you like to make your own giant bumblebee? This is the preview to my tutorial for Mr Bumbley Bee. It'll enable you to needle felt the most gorgeous bumblebee. You'll learn techniques such as basic armature making, reverse needle felting, long fur technique, wrapping wool and embroidery of wing patterns. Mr Bumbley Bee is a giant fluffy gorgeousness that you can be brave enough to have sit on your hand, as he's made of wool and he's much too much of a gentleman to sting you. He is really large at 13 centimetres long and 6.5 centimetres wide. His body is made of soft and fluffy wool tops, and his legs and antennae are shaped from pipe cleaners with small pieces of wool wrapped over them. His beautifully detailed wings are made of organza with hand-sewn stitching in white embroidery silks. It's a beautifully illustrated tutorial with over 250 instructional photos across 108 pages to show you how to create your own bee. So, what is inside? This page comes with the tutorial, and the main features then are a Meet Your Tutor section, bee anatomy diagram, and I'll show you the bee anatomy diagram in more detail. So the aim of this is to show you some really clear pictures to enable you to know the different parts of the bee so that you can refer to them during the tutorial. And on the right, this is to explain how you'll be creating all of the details of the bee as you go along. There are also size guides with wing template. Again, a close-up just to show you. The size guide will just make sure that you keep to the right sizing so that the bands of the bee are the right width and the right length. There is also a wing template that you can print out and cut so that you have the right size for the wings. There's also the 7 stages for making your bee. So the tutorial is broken down into 7 stages, making it really clear and really easy to follow. The first stage being the shaping of the armature. The second stage is building up the yellow and black bands of the bee. The third stage is the detail to go on the legs and the antennae. In stage 4, you're going to be learning to do some reverse felting to make the really lovely fluffy bee hair. And in number 5, you're going to learn how to do some long fur techniques to make the white tail. Number 6, splash of orange to give a bit of depth of colour to the yellow parts of the bee. And the 7th stage is to make the beautiful wings out of organza and to hand stitch the embroidery silks. Now in each stage, you will see how you're going to start off that stage. It's going to explain what's going to be coming up in each stage, and then it will show you a picture of how you should end up as well. So in stage 2, for example, with the building up of the band, you'll start off with the top picture here, and you will end up with the bottom picture here. And in stage 4, to make the fluffy bee hair, you will start off with the top picture with the building up of the wool, and then you will have the reverse felted wool, lovely fluffy bee at the end. Each of the stages are divided into steps. So for example, here you have steps 70 through to 72. Each step has a photo to make it really clear to visually see what is being done in each step. And to the right of it, I've described the instructions on how to do it in detail. There's also a full list of materials and tools that you'll need for the tutorial. I've listed all of the items, and I've also given some suggestions of where to source them from. Also within the tutorial, you'll see that I've given some care instructions for how to look after Mr Bumbley Bee so that he lives a long, lovely life in your house with you or with whoever you give him to. And I've also given some tips on safety when using needles and when needle felting. So that's it. I've come to the end of the preview for you. I really hope you enjoyed that. I hope you will now head over to Fit to Be Loved and buy copy for yourself. This is Amanda Adebisi of Fit to be Loved, and I hope to speak to you soon.